Eric Swalwell has been trying to be relevant still, and he's doing a good job of it. He is suing Donald Trump now in his personal capacity over the January 6th Capitol Hill insurrection. He's not happy about it, but he's not only suing Donald Trump, he's also suing Representative Mo Brooks and Rudi Giuliani in their personal capacities. Not as the former president, not as anybody running for office, just suing them because of what happened on January 6th. Let's go through this lawsuit. Here we have Representative Eric Swalwell. This was filed today, 65 pages long. We're not going to go through it all. I'm going to show you the highlights. Eric Swalwell suing Donald Trump in his personal capacity. Donald Trump Jr., I forgot about him. He's in there. We got Mo Brooks, and we also have Rudi Giuliani. So Swalwell versus the Trump & Co. Jury trial demanded, filed in the District Court for District of Columbia, filed today, as I mentioned. The complaint, here's how it starts. The peaceful transfer of power is a sacrament of American democracy. Donald Trump and his son, Donald Trump Jr., his advisor, Rudy, and his Congressman Mo Brooks, together with many others, defiled that sacrament through a campaign of lies and incendiary rhetoric, which led to the sacking of the U.S. Capitol. Was the U.S. Capitol sacked? They were in there for like 3 or 4 hours. They were back in there counting the votes that same night. So did they sack a Capitol like when Rome was sacked? Or the Trojan horse, and they sacked whatever city that was? Did that happen on January 6th? Okay, so somebody very interesting is writing this. Donald Trump lost the 2020 election. He was not willing to accept the defeat, lied to his followers, told them the certification was a coup, that their country was being stolen. As we've covered here, same old boilerplate garbage, filed frivolous lawsuits, all of which failed. Defendants tried to intimidate state officials, none of whom caved to the pressure. Out of options, out of time. They called their supporters. He told them to, here it is, stop the steal. This is the language that they use. And to be wild, thousands came in response, and they were stirred to violence. Trump implored to, here it is again, to fight like hell. Remember that? And to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue down to the Capitol. According to an analysis of the cell phone data, which is new information, we've been asking. Remember, Christopher Wray, the FBI director, was asked in the Senate hearings this week, are you collecting cell phone data? I don't know. Going to have to look into that. I know I'm the director of the FBI. I know this was one of the biggest things that's happened in our country in recent memory. And I know it's my job to get the facts for you, Congress, so that I can come and answer your questions. But I don't know whether we did that or not. I don't know whether our law enforcement agency was gobbling up records from congresspeople, from executive officials, from the vice president, from senators, from any security officials with top security clearances. Christopher Wray didn't know about it, but who's this guy? Swalwell. Eric Swalwell apparently did. An analysis of cell phone data, approximately 40% of the rally attendees did just that, meaning they marched down to the Capitol. As a direct and foreseeable consequence of Trump, all of this bad stuff happened. The mob disrupted the certification. They wanted to hang the vice president. They wanted to kill the speaker, and they terrorized and they injured scores of others, including the plaintiff, which is Eric Swalwell. So Eric Swalwell, according to his own document, was terrorized and injured, apparently. Injured scores of others, including the plaintiff, Eric Swalwell. So he was terrorized and injured. Okay. I didn't know that he was injured, but all right. Later in the day, Trump doubled down on the claims. Following morning, stop the count, stop the fraud. All right. This was on November 5th. So he goes through all of the tweets. This is a tweet lawsuit. He's very unhappy about the tweets. Stop the count, stop the fraud, November 5th. All right. Goes on between the governor, Doug Ducey, December 5th, December 13th, stop the steal, blah, blah, blah. Goes on. He pulls up this one from the Donald.win, which is, I haven't been there recently, but a hilarious website. They had a post here that says, Trump tweet, Daddy says be in D.C. on January 6th. Then they go through and they find some comments and they want to attribute all of that. So they're not suing anybody who wrote the comments. They're suing Donald Trump, apparently, for something that somebody posted on an internet. Donald Trump tweeted, and so a bunch of people responded, and so this lawsuit is unhappy about it. They're also singling out Donald Trump Jr. Apparently, this shirt has a 3%er symbol on it. 3% looks like a Punisher logo with MAGA underneath. Good looking shirt, actually. And it has a 3%er. I'm not real sure what the 3%ers are, but apparently that is problematic. So they cite this in their lawsuit. Okay. These are the 9 counts. Nine counts lot of problems that Eric Swalwell has. Number 1, conspiracy to violate civil rights. Number 2, neglect to prevent interference with civil rights. Count 3, negligence per se. We also have negligence per se in count number 4, one for incitement to riot, and another one for disorderly conduct. We have bias-related crimes, inciting assault, inciting to riot, disorderly conduct, and terrorism against all defendants. Count 6, poor Eric, has the intentional infliction of emotional distress and also the negligent infliction of emotional distress. So very, very distressed. These are just ridiculous charges. You see these on almost every type of tort claim like this. When something bad happened, they just say, yeah, I was also distressed and I'm going to sue you for that. All right, it's fine. Count 8, aiding and abetting common law assault, and then count 9, negligence. So a lot of different charges. Here is what they're asking for in conclusion. They say that they want the court to enter a judgment in his favor and grant relief against the defendants as follows. Number 1, pay actual money damages to the plaintiff, but they didn't tell us what he wants. They didn't tell us how much. What were his damages? Of all of these 9 different counts, what were the damages to him? What did Eric Swalwell get hurt by? Was that terrorism and that emotional trauma? Was that worth $10 or $10 million? What do you want? Remember when we saw some of the Sidney Powell lawsuits and some of the Lynn Wood lawsuits? They were asking for, on this line item, $671 million. And then on the next line item for punitive damages, they wanted another $670-something million. Swalwell, though, is not giving us an amount, which is too bad. I'd be curious to see what he values his emotional distress at. They also want to order the defendants to pay punitive damages. They want to declare that the defendants violated the law set forth above. Number 4, this is interesting. They want the court to provide an order to the defendants. So here's to Trump, Giuliani, Mo Brooks, and Trump Jr. They're saying you have to provide written notice to the plaintiff, to Eric Swalwell. They're saying, court, tell the defendants that they got to notify me, Eric Swalwell, no less than 7 days before any rally or any other public event in D.C. on a day when a significant election or election certification activity is taking place, and when the rally is planned to have more than 50 people in attendance, to allow the plaintiff to determine whether to seek relief from the court to prevent further violence or disruption to the proper functioning of the federal government. So Eric Swalwell, if there is a rally that's planned, if there's a significant election certification activity taking place, if Trump and his people want to show up there, they got to run it by Eric Swalwell. Hey, Eric, can we have this rally there? Congressman? Well, I got to check with the court. Okay. We have award the plaintiff attorney's fees, grant any other such relief as the court deems proper. Signed off on by Caleb Andonian, PLLC, Joseph Caleb, and Philip Andonian over in D.C., licensed in D.C., of course, D.C. lawyers. And then we've got Kaiser Dillon and Sarah Fink, other D.C. lawyers, all signed off on this. So Eric Swalwell suing Donald Trump. We don't know how much money he wants, but he thinks that he can let the court figure out the compensation and the punitive damages that he is owed. Jeremy Matrita says, what court did Swalwell file his suit? Is this even legally possible? Is this civil law? Does this open him up to countersuits or other potential issues? So he filed it in the federal D.C. Circuit Court. It is legal. He can certainly sue Donald Trump. I don't think, so you can sue anybody for virtually anything. That's not the threshold. Very low standard. It is civil law. This is just sort of a tort claim. So it's just, emotional distress is a good one. So like it's similar to a car accident type of a claim. It's a civil lawsuit where he's saying, I was injured by your negligence and I want damages for it. So it is legal. If this survives a summary judgment motion by Donald Trump and his defense lawyers, he could be potentially liable for attorney's fees, something like that. But no, I don't think it opens him up to any countersuits or other potential issues. I don't think that Trump would sue him for, open up a counterclaim or anything like this. Like, this is not a breach of contract type of claim that would be open to those things. So I think it's a political lawsuit. The courts will probably deal with it as such. We have Remark 2 says, Swalwell should be trying to shrink down and find a crack to fall down. How is he still in office? Well, it's because he's a Democrat, and the Democrats very, very much protect their own. We have, good to see you, Remark, too. We got Anki Wo says, the new invasive COVID test that diplomats are getting in China is called the Eric Anal Swabwell. Can you believe they're doing that in China? Right up the rear. Not too good over there. The Eric Anal Swabwell. That's good. All right, we have Get Some Skates in the house. Says, is our government paying for all these lawsuits? This one, no. This one should not be. This one, Eric Swalwell is paying for it from his government salary. So, yeah, we are paying for it. It seems like it is a string of them, one after the other. Is the plan to bankrupt Trump and company at the expense of the taxpayer? Well, I mean, ultimately, we pay Eric Swalwell's salary, so he is using government funds to presumably fund these lawsuits. We don't know who's funding them. Maybe those lawyers are doing it for free. I doubt it because it's going to be a ton of work. But it is, there's a lot of money. Yes, I think you're right. They do want to be a thorn in Trump's side. They're doing a good job of that. But I'm not real sure that this has any legs on it. All right. And so our last question of the day, before we jump over into Clubhouse, we're gonna stick around for some live Q&A if there is some interest in Clubhouse. But our last question from locals.com/watching the watchers is, Robert, he never told anyone to, quote, be wild. He said it's going to be wild, talking about the 6th. They must have had a WAPO or NYT journalist write this up, going by the use of that deceptive language. Yeah, it was actually kind of hysterically written, that complaint. I didn't read all 65 pages, but I was going through it. And earlier on, I don't think it was in the slides today, but earlier on in the lawsuit, they talked about Eric Swalwell. They defined the plaintiff. They defined the defendant. So they say Donald Trump is the president. Donald Trump Jr. is the president's son. Rudi Giuliani was counsel and all those things. They also defined Eric Swalwell, who is the plaintiff. And I should have clipped it. It's hysterical. But they said that basically, Eric Swalwell was one of the 9 impeachment managers in the historic second impeachment of Donald Trump. And the way that paragraph was written, it was just like this. It was like this puff piece that was hysterical. I'm like, did your intern write this? Somebody in your office write this just to like, Eric Swalwell, oh, he's so great. And they just put it into this legal document. It was kind of hysterical to read. But yeah, it is, right? It's a political complaint. I don't think it has much teeth, but we'll see where it goes. And that was it for the questions over on locals.com/watching the watchers. Want to thank all the supporters over there. Got a lot of amazing people who help support the show. Shout out to a couple of them. We've got Nano Bingo. We got Anano Missy. We've got The Messenger, Jen McClellan. We got Saline Sal. We've also got Cats59, Wise One, S-Dog. We got Doragos. Ryan supports us. We got Lead Shed. We've got Want to Know. Who else we have? R. Goodson59. I'm a Lemon. We got J Proper. We have Vice, Gust Click, Bumma Lick It. We got Craftsman 100. We have E. Don Test who signed up. Nadar Blasier, saw him today. We also have, we got Zuck who signed up yesterday. We got JC Ragan who signed up yesterday. Ron Carter. Doesn't look like anybody signed up today. No problem at all. We are going to continue to plug along anyways. I want to thank those of you who have signed up and joined us over on locals.com. Get a lot of good stuff over there. Free copy of my book, Beginning to Winning. You can also get it on Amazon. It's available there, but there's a free PDF on locals.com/watching the watchers. Get a copy of all these slides over there. We're going to post them all up. Copy of the existence systems, the impeachment party documents. Lots of links get shared over on that platform. Great people are over there as well. And so I'd invite you to come check it out. watchingthewatchers.locals.com. Free platform if you want to join. If you want to support the show, it's $5 a month. That gives you the ability to comment and to post links and to ask questions during the live stream. So we are going to continue on with that. I do have a little bit of a channel update. We did submit our application for remonetization. And so YouTube said it's going to take another month before we get an answer back. And it may take longer than that because of COVID. Things are kind of slow over there apparently. And so we're hopeful we get our super chats back, and so we can sort of transition back some of our questions back over to YouTube. But in the meantime, Locals is our home, and it's going to be our home for the foreseeable future. And so we're thinking about other ways where we can talk about some of the more, I would say, provocative stuff, some of the YouTube non-friendly stuff over there. But I'm still trying to kind of get my bearings straight and figure out a new pace for the show moving forward. So I'd appreciate it if you went over there and just checked us out, locals.com/watching the watchers. And then lastly, before we jump over onto Clubhouse, if you want to join us on Clubhouse, the link is in the description here on YouTube, on Facebook, and elsewhere. You can just click that link. It's for iPhone only. or iOS only, works on iPads and things like that. So we're going to do a live Q&A where I'm actually going to take questions by audio chat over there. It's a fun platform. Had some fun with Pinky too, and I think Justin was there yesterday. So we'll see if they're around here today. And I want to invite you to join us over there. It's a cool platform. We're going to be using it a little bit more. Lastly, but not leastly, before I sign off here, I am a criminal defense attorney. I know we talked a lot about the news and a little commentary here and there, but my day job is to represent good people who have been charged with crimes. We love to help good people find safety, clarity, and hope in their cases and in their futures. We're very good at what we do. We help people with all types of criminal charges in the state of Arizona, things like DUI, domestic violence, drug, major felonies, minor felonies, traffic violations, quashing old warrants, helping people restore their rights so they can get back out and vote, go apply for federal benefits, possess a firearm again. We help people clear mugshots off the internet. We help people anything. Anytime anybody's ever been in trouble with the law, we've got an awesome team of people here in Scottsdale. We're very good at what we do. So if you happen to know anybody who has been charged with a crime or who needs help in a situation like that, we would be honored and humbled if you sent them our way so that we have an opportunity to see if we can help move the needle in their case, move things forward so that they can get things back on track. So if you know anybody, send them our way. We have free case evaluations, nice office. Come on in, get a copy of my book, say hello, and we'll see what we can do to help. We promise to make sure that they leave better than we found them or than they found us. And so if you send them our way, we'd be grateful for that. And that's it for me, everybody. We are done with the broadcast today. Going to sign off. We're going to be back here next week. I don't have anything in the hopper for the weekend. Going to recharge a little bit. I got some other projects I want to work on, but then we are going to be back here same time, same place on Monday. It's at 5 p.m. Arizona time, 4 p.m., which is Mountain Time. It's 4 p.m. in California, Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Central in Texas, 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And for that one Florida man, everybody have a very lovely weekend. Enjoy yourself. Unplug from politics a little bit because it can be grating. And I'll see you right back here, same place, same time on Monday. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and bye-bye.